Morning everyone, Brian McManus Real Estate Week 32 update, and it is an interesting little period we're going through at the moment. Probably more in line with thinking right back to 88, 89 maybe, but just some things that have happened just recently that I suppose it's been happening for a while, but we've really just it's all come to a head really, and that's where we've changed dramatically some of our business practices just to move with the market. So first things I'll deal with is, you've probably seen our new website. It's finally here. It's taken a few months, up and down, and I think we've settled on this one. This is version 1, so you'll see probably 3 versions in the next 30-40 days as we start to load properties on, and that's going to sort of iron everything out as we go through. You'll notice there's a 12-month auction calendar there that we've scheduled, and we've moved away from some of the practices in the last few years, so we're setting it at probably 3 to 5 minimum in rooms, and basically it is a cost and probably labour situation. So I can call auctions from anywhere now. Obviously COVID brought us into that sort of marketplace, so it's not so much the call, the closing, the administration part of it. It's more the administration of the room and having more people involved. You see me calling, hammering it down, then the administration of the room, of deposits paid, bringing property back to the market if the deposit can't be paid, all those sorts of things. So it costs us about around $7,000 to $10,000 to run in rooms. So to make it cost effective, we've got to have about 5 properties is what I'm saying there. So we'll be calling, although they're scheduled, we can still do one. It's just going to be a online auction, and same deal. We won't change our structure, where we give each auction a pretty specific time, other than something taking a lot longer and shuffling the auctions along. Generally, over the last 5 or 10 years, scheduling times, it's just been a lot better. We also have, in that time, we have, when the time specific, we can have that dedicated space. So the links are only to the buyers for that property. It's not for the entire auction. So it lets us give the property a better service, give the buyers a better service, because we're only dealing with 3 or 4 people, and not 60 or 70 people, and wondering which property they're coming in on. So that's the auction part of the website. You'll notice we've got on the website itself 5 markets. Our 5 target markets are separated now. We've got 1 more coming in, so we're going to have a 6th one come in. We've actually put that off until the website is. We're never going to iron everything out, but we'll iron out a few details over the next 30 to 90 days, and then bring in that 6th one, that 6th final market for us. So, but all in all, the feedback's been really awesome. Thank you, everybody. And your feedback is really important to us. So I don't think if you've got some negative feedback about it that will be heard. I'd rather negative feedback from positive clients than nobody talking about it and there being a problem and us not being aware of it. So yeah, it's really good. And market feedback is far more important than feedback from us and inside the website. So writing the code and that is all very well. It's more that it actually bloody works, which it does at the moment. But as I said, as version 1, we're going to be up to about version 4 by November, no doubt. November, December. So it's just going to evolve now. It's much better. I'm much happier about it. It was worth waiting for. It was always going to be worth waiting for. And here we are. Right. So moving right along, and we're seeing the market produce a number of mortgagees coming through, and that was predicted. As the banks start pulling funding from our marketplace, from the hotels, motels, caravan parks, not so much the luxury homes. Banks love them, especially in the cities. But certainly the new demographic lending and geographic lending criterias, they have now kicked in with full force. So the other part of that, what we're finding is the mortgagees coming through. So, and they're not necessarily going with industry agents or industry agents that are familiar with areas, for instance. So the unfortunate part about that is one in a great little regional town at the moment with a resi agent, and unfortunately it's listed above. It's closed, a business that's closed, a hotel that's closed, but it's listed above trading hotels that are bringing in over $1 million a year, and just trading with an okay profit. So closed business needs a lot of chattels and listed well above the market as a mortgagee sale. I don't know how we can help them. It's under agency with another agent. That's the technical part, that we can't help them until we can talk about, go and see them and talk about when that agency expires. But really we can't help them if they go to a resi agent and expect a level of service. It'll be no different to us listing a local unit or a 3-bedroom house with one bathroom. It's something that we wouldn't deal with. So anyway, those mortgages are coming through. The prices are all over the place. The financial institutions have interesting expectations, you might say. So watch this space. That's all I can say. That's the first part of it. Don't know if you're looking for stock. It's a great place to look. And these are auctions coming through not just in the rural areas. These are coming through in the cities as well. So interesting times. Pre-auction prep, pre-listing prep, and reserve setting video. So pre-auction, pre-listing, almost the same thing now. So we need more preparation is what we're saying. So over the last 24 months we've come to the realization that we need certified accounts for the last 3 years. We need the contract, both contracts, the business and the land, and we need we need those documents now prior. We've been caught out, I suppose, a few times where the the Excel spreadsheet was far from the truth, and that helps nobody, because there are checks and balances. You know, even the buyer's financial institutions, they will check out your tax. So if you say you're turning over X and you haven't got your GST and everything else, it's a check and balance on it. You know, it's pointless. Also, we need ledgers. Gone are the days that we accept what you're telling us. We need the ledgers. We've got to see your orders for breweries. We've got to see the invoices and then payment, so the bank statements. We've got to see all that, because unfortunately in the last 24 months some of the figures coming through, they simply don't match. We had one just very recently that just went from how do I put it? Went from being profitable to making $700,000-800,000 loss once we dug into it. So, and that puts my license at risk. That and I find that hard when at the point of listing that we're told something and it's quite wrong. So, moving right along, there's probably one more thing before we talk about reserve setting, and that's when we are listing, and point of listing, I suppose, that point where, and whether it's me or another agent, it's kind of important that you think about the buyer, where the buyer's coming from, especially if they're new to the industry. So here's a generalisation, but bear with me. Husband and wife, average salary $150,000 each, so they're netting $300,000 a year on 40 hours a week, getting paid holidays, super on top of that. So they're the ideal people that are possibly keeping their home or selling their home, either or, but they're coming in to buy your business, your hotel, your motel. Well, that's the sort of income they expect. They expect to see you drawing a salary. So if the husband and wife, you've got two salaries there, about 150,000, and then the business separately making a profit. So gone are the days of minimizing tax if you expect to sell. So if you're thinking about selling over the next 3 to 5 years, start banking all your cash and showing everything. And if you don't, it affects your sale price dramatically. It's hundreds of thousands. You know, and if you're at the top end, or not even top end, if you're a 40 room motor lodge, it's going to cost you millions. So what I'm saying is your counts have to be precise, and then at the auction we're going to get you a really good price, because the buyers can then take it to an institution and go, here are the certified accounts, my accountant certified them, here's the GST, here's the wages, here's the ledger with the supplies and everything. So they have a little book when they go in, and then they can bid higher. And how are we going for time? Not doing too bad. So the last but not least, reserve setting video, and we're going to do a reserve setting video separate. We've actually, if you go onto YouTube, I've already got one there. it's got to be clear, your instruction to us or to me as the auctioneer. And I have, every agent's different, we have different systems. Mine has 3 levels. I've talked about this, I think, on my last video, maybe, but certainly on the reserve setting video, the previous one I've done. We'll do another one later on this week. Has 3 levels. Reserve. This is my reserve. If the bidding reaches here, come and talk to us. This is live. But we won't accept this. Okay? Now, there's been a trend I've found that people just setting one figure on all 3 levels. We pass it in, and then they come back to me, oh, you should come and talk to us. Well, I couldn't, because you gave me one figure for the 3 levels. So the reserve was this. If bidding reaches this, come and talk to us. Well, that means we've reached the reserve, so I'm not coming to talk to you. But we won't accept this. Well, that's the same figure that you gave me up top. So what we need, and it says on the form, they're generally about 20% apart. This is the reserve, 20% less, come and chat to us. We'll think about putting it on the market if you've got strong bidding, but we won't take that. And then we know where we stand, and the buyers know that you're bona fide. I'll talk more on a separate video for that. So week 32, everyone, have a wonderful week. As you can see, sun's out. What a difference that makes. No frost this morning. So we are on the road. We're going back to, we'll be back in Sydney Wednesday all week, probably for the rest of the week. So we've got some appraisals in Sydney itself. Also got our other markets ticking away there as well. So if you want us to come out and do an appraisal, give us a bell. 040 297 0217 04. Oh yeah, that's the 040 297 0217, and Brian at McManusRealEstate.com. So give us a bell. Let's schedule in the appraisal. Let's start getting all those figures, all the bookwork together, so that we can have a successful sale and have you move on with your life. And you don't have to wait 2 or 3 years to sell your business. You can move on in 70, 90 days if we get all the bookwork done, in place, ticked off, certified, and can have a really successful auction. Because the only thing that can stop a successful auction is an unrealistic reserve. Have a wonderful week, 32, and we'll talk to you soon.